What up guys, welcome back to Design Labs. Today we'll be showing you 7 different methods of background removal here on Photoshop. Right, we just got this AI generated image, we imported it into Photoshop. So we'll be using it as our experiment. We made different duplicates. We have up to 7 duplicates, so we'll be trying out the 7 methods of background remover. So the first tool we'll be looking at here will be under the lasso tool. That's the magnetic lasso tool. So to use the magnetic lasso tool, we'll navigate to the toolbox and select the magnetic lasso tool. You see how it's moving, right? We just, once you come to the place, the image you want to remove the background, once you click on the edge, right, Photoshop automatically detects and following the edges, right, and selects automatically the edges, highlights them. You see that it's creating notes as you're moving your mouse. So you're not clicking on anything, you're just moving your mouse and it's selecting, it's moving around the edges and it's selecting it off. That's how the magnetic lasso tool works, right? It works like a magnet. As you're dragging it down, you just move your mouse around and it makes the selection for you. So after selecting, you hit the delete key and it takes it out. Remember, when you import and select then delete, it might not work, right? It might just throw you up an error, although I didn't get that here because the image was just straight. I've done that already before starting this video. So what you just do is you just rasterize the image. So rasterize an image, you go to layer, click on layer and click on rasterize, right? It's that simple to rasterize an image. So once you rasterize it, you can just delete this out and it's very simple. See how I'm moving around? I'm not clicking anything at this point. It's just moving, right? Mouse movement, no key down, just simple mouse movement. Then after moving, I just clicked on Ctrl T to bring out the points so I can just resize my image, right, to show this. Then cut out the rough edges much and pretty much try it out, going around, highlight this, take it out, down. The same thing for the other side, which I'm doing now. Right, take it out, still come down, take it out. You see that this tool is really not that straightforward, right? Sometimes it messes things up, but this is just like a tool. Like once you have a perfect shape like a rectangle or stuff you want to cut out that is simple, I always recommend this tool. Then next we have is the polygonal lasso tool. So how does this tool work? This tool works like lines. You create nodes using lines. You see that but this one you have to click. You see that any place you move, you click. You see the lines are straight. Like it's not like the magnetic lasso tool that you're just moving around and it's making the selections automatically. This you have to be the one to click. You make the notes yourself. So at any point you move, you click, and you mind you that when you get to edges that are curved, you have to take it bit by bit so you get that curve. You see how stressful it can be. You see that this place is curved now. You see how it's creating instead of creating curved lines, it's creating a straight line. So you have to just take it bit by bit to get that curved place done, right? This tool is not really so perfect, but when I started Photoshop, this was the first tool I was using. Imagine someone telling me to remove the background of an image. It would take me like almost hours or if not the whole day, because at some points you might just make selections and you find out that the selections has entered the place, has entered into the parts you don't want to cut out. As a newbie in Photoshop, you know that I don't know what to do. I'll just be like, start afresh. I'll go to history, go back to what I've done and see the pain this causes me, right? Just pretty much showing you guys how it is looking while I place it on a background. You see that I've removed the former background. Now I'm trying to place it on this new background I created. You see that it's not so perfect, but yeah, it's okay. When I was starting Photoshop, right, I wasn't my cutouts weren't this neat. Upon the number of hours I was spending, and I wasn't still getting this type of looks, right? That's to show you the progress one is making. It's really not rocket science. Just try it, keep trying, and with time you get better, right? It's that simple. You get better with time, right? Then we are creating another image. Want to bring in another image for our next cutouts, right? Bringing in another image for our next background removal. So the next tool we'll be using for this will still be under the lasso tool, right? Still a bit under the lasso tool, which is the lasso tool itself, right? You see that they have like the general name lasso tool, then you have this magnetic and right, or still under the lasso tool. So but this one is the main lasso tool. So this one works in a way that's like you are drawing, so any place you click down, right, you left click down, then move it around. You see that as I'm moving this thing now, I'm moving my mouse cursor, I'm left clicking down. So it's just like the way you draw using your pencil. You pin down your pencil on your book, then draw around, right? That's what is happening. You left click down, then move around, then it creates a selection, right? So removing background on Photoshop is just all about making selections and removing the places you don't want and stuff like that. That's just it. You see this type of thing, this type of errors, I was facing it a lot when I started out on Photoshop, and trust me, I'm starting the whole process afresh because I really don't know what to do then, right? But now with time you know that okay, you can actually add selection or subtract selection. The places that you don't want, you can hold down your alt key to remove selection. You can hold down your shifts or control key, right? Don't really know what to add selection now, right? One alt key, and I guess the other one should be control key. Try it on your keyboard to find out to add selections, right? So that's that. There you see that we'll continue with the cutting out to make everywhere look cool and okay. Just pretty much selecting places. Selecting. So mind you, this tool too, I'm not really a big fan of the tool, right? But as of then, it was really handy. It was really handy, and you know that there are many ways to do a particular thing in Photoshop. So you cannot just say background removal is done this way. No, right? I have many ways. Even aside these 7 ways I'm showing you guys, there are also many other ways to remove background on Photoshop. Other designers will come out and show you other ways. Like for me, one design I was able to grasp up to 7 and more. Okay, I equally know more that, but they are not just like background remover. Then other designer can still come and show you other ways they do their own, and you see that the goal is to find something that works for you and something that is easy for you, right? Find how to solve the problem and keep going. That's just it. What works for you might not work for me, right? And what works for me might not work for you. So that's why I'm giving out these 7 ways, these 7 ways and these 7 steps. Whichever one that you find cool with, you can blend in. If you are cool with using your free hand to draw around, you can use this. If you are cool with using lines, straight lines, if you are cool to using a lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool, a lot of tools to remove background with, a lot, and we'll be touching 7 of them. At this point we've gotten to, right, how many? 3, and still counting. Just trying to refine these edges so it will look presentable a bit. But just mind you that I'm not really paying close attention to making it look so cool, right? I'm just trying to, for the sake of this tutorial, I just want it to be short as possible. That's why I'm just making them. The edges might be rough. I didn't even consider looking at my feather and stuff, but I will still show you guys feather as we continue this tutorial of further what it's about and what it does to your image, right? So this is me still adding the background I've created, so to see how rough or how cool our cutout is. You see that there are still patches. The designer in me will not allow me to leave this untouched, but you guys will just bear with me. You just have to finish it off in a way, right? So that's that. Then zoom out. I'm still seeing edges, but just leave it. Or should we touch it? Sorry, you have to touch it. You have to touch it. So there is as you keep training your eyes, you get to the point where your eyes will not like to see some things, right? As a designer, there are some things that you see, it's becomes so distorting to your eyes, becomes so uncomfortable to your eyes, right? So that's one thing design opens your eye to, right? You start seeing a lot of things that before you were enjoying and later you won't just have them. So the next tool we'll be looking at is the magnetic wand tool, right? This is the tool number 4. See how easy this tool is to use. Just look at, by just selecting the tool and click on the image, you see that it highlights the places. See, it highlights the backgrounds. Just click on delete and they are out. Then this is where you hold your alt key. See that? So you hold your alt key to remove. I'll come back to that. Let's just take this place out first. Take this other part out. Take this out. Then start. Hold your alt key to subtract the selection. Then you delete. Right? See that? It's very simple. But before, when I was starting out newly, trust me, I'm starting this whole process afresh. Because I didn't know this, right? So from learning from that, you start learning. Next tool we have is quick selection tool. Just works like that same magic, right? So just select places and see make selections. Boom, hit delete, it's out. Then you control D. I forgot to say this, right? What I'm using to deselect, you see that even when I delete, it's still having that selection. Control D is what I use to deselect. So the 5th one is the quick selection tool. Quick selection tool. How this works is once you click on the image, it highlights the image itself. Then you can cut it out, right? Then you cut it out, then Control A to select all the image, then delete, then paste that place you cut out. You see that it highlighted the image, only the image. You can still go ahead to add these down parts. I did add them. I just cut out this part of the image, just highlighted at the first time, then cut it out using Ctrl X to cut. Normal way we'll cut, right? So when you cut it out, then you use Ctrl A to select the remaining part. You see that I've cut it out. Ctrl X, then you select the whole image. Ctrl A, select delete, then you paste it. That's what I just did there. It's that simple. Then went back, Ctrl Z to bring back the image. See that I'm just reminding you guys that you have to rasterize your image, right, before you start working on it, because all these I'm saying won't work if your image is not rasterized, right? So next tool we have is the pen tool. Like, this is my go-to tool. This is the tool I love. Even now I'm still using. There are many AI ways to remove background, but trust me, the designer in me will not allow me to use any tool aside the pen tool, unless I'm doing a fast job that I want to just keep going, and I try the tools, it works, and the outcome is perfect. I can just still add touches, maybe use my brush to brush the edges and stuff. But trust me, any design I'm doing, I love using the pen tool. Although they are simpler tools, but I love using the pen tool. So to use the pen tool, it's just about when you click, you drag, you add. If you want to make curves, you can hold down your alt key to curve. You can hold down your alt key to change, to move the nodes, the points. Like, it's very easy to use and fun to use. I guess I should make a separate video on how to use the pen tool, because the pen tool is I feel it should be a topic on its own, and it's a fun one. Once you learn how to use the pen tool, you find a lot of things very easy designing in any software, because almost all the softwares I've used for design have the pen tool. Photoshop has pen tool, CorelDRAW has pen tool, Figma has pen tool. Which other software have I used? Photoshop, Adobe XD, Figma, CorelDRAW, Adobe Illustrator. I've really used a lot of softwares. Crazy. So almost all of them have pen tool, and it's once you learn how to use them, it's really a bonus to you. So this is me selecting the edges. Right, pen tool works almost like the second tool. So, but the second tool only selects lines, but the pen tool has the ability to select both curves and lines. You see that it's selecting curves and it's selecting lines. So when you click and drag, you can make curves. You see that I'm making a curve here. See that? So it has the ability to select both line and curves. So that's you see that when you click, hold and drag. So you have to mouse down, right, left click down, then drag to create curves. Then when you don't like the position, you can always use your alt, hold down alt to drag to replace and keep things in shape. Right, so that's pretty much how it works. Is that then always remember that all the tools we are using always comes back to the origin, right? Where you start your selection is where you end. So after selecting, you see that I'll right click, then make selection, then so you see that after selecting, I'll right click inside the selected part, then click on make selection. Then this the feather reduce. So the feather is all about how faded I want the edges to look, right? Do I want it to look blurry? Do I want it to look to move in, to fade in, or do I want it to look sharp? You see that when I increase the feather, then I delete. Let me hit delete and show you guys what will happen. And I hit delete to see how faded it looks. It doesn't cut it out, right? Then I'll go back, click on make selection. Okay, this is not because I'm not using the pen tool. Click on make selection, then reduce it to what number? Should I say 20? It's 20 colon. Let's do 10. Then click on 10. You see that it cuts it out now, but it's still leaving the edges, right? You see that this the work of the feather. So the feather shows how faded the edges will look. Let's say that we're either how sharp or how faded. Then we select the make selection again, then take it to 1. See, it's now looking better. But for me, I love to keep my feathers at 0.5. That's just a preference. You can do what works for you, right? I love keeping my feather at 0.5 when I'm cutting out background. So that's 0.5 delete. You see how cool it's looking now. It's not sharp, it's not so sharp, and it's not so blurry, it's not so faded, right? Yeah, if there's anything like that, then I'll continue with the selection. Mind you that if I'm doing a real job, I don't make my selections 2 times. I just go ahead and highlight. I select once, then delete. Always know that where you start making your selection, right, you will still go to that place to end your selection. So where you start at your selection is where you end, right? So watch your my mouse pointer, where I started. See, I started at this black spot. So I'm taking all the selections I make. What I will take out is the places that are surrounded by my selection, right? I guess you guys understand. So you see where I started. Now I'm going back to the origin. So when I get to the origin, the icon there turns to circle. You see that means I've made a selection, and I'll delete. Once I delete, it goes out. guess this is the 6th tool. Then looking out for the last tool. We've seen the pen tool, which is super cool, like comes in super handy because that's my go-to tool for background removal here on Photoshop, right? So I'll go back to create an image for our last tool. Setting up an image for our last tool. Let's look for this guy. Okay. Let me just remove the visibility and bring in my background. See how cool it's looking like. This is my best because I love it. I always use it. It's faster for me, right? Then we bring back our image for the last tool. Bring back our image for the last tool. This last tool is kind of automatic, right? I just named it auto background remover, auto BG remover. So before you access this tool, you have to always remember that you have to rasterize your image. That's the first step to access this tool. So I'm always repeating this is because you might import an image and want to remove it. They will throw you up an error, right? So if you want to see the properties, right? To use this tool, you have to go through properties. Then if you check at the right hand panel, you don't find properties, you can just go to window and toggle the properties on. Once you bring them on, you scroll down under properties, you will see remove background. Once you click on remove background, voila, it removes the background for you. You see that it's not always perfect, right? It's not always perfect. If you look at the tie, right, you see how the place got removed. So this tool is not always perfect. So guys, if this video was helpful, consider to like, subscribe and share to your friends and other designers to learn how to remove background images on Photoshop. See you guys on the next one. Bye for now.